Why choosing your pain will actually make you happier. It's a massive reframe that I've recently had in my life, because I think we all grow up in the world with this idea that being comfortable is the aim of the game. Remove stress, remove pain, remove challenge wherever you can. But then why is it that I think all of us have pushed us through something that was challenging, that we really didn't want to do, but then felt amazing afterwards? So that would mean that the people who are just comfortable and never have any pain actually aren't the happiest. And so in this video, I really want to break down the idea or this change of thought that I've had, that pursuing your challenges and pursuing your pain is actually what brings you fulfillment. So I think all of us at some point or another are falling into this trap of, I just need a little bit more. I'll be happy when, I'm almost there. Okay, I've nearly got the job, just that promotion, then I'll be good. And from a couple of books now, I've learned that, without boring you with the science and the studies behind it, scientists have found that our base level of happiness tends to be around a 6 or 7 out of 10. On a day-to-day basis, how we tend to be is not bad. The true British saying, how you doing? Yeah, not too bad. Things aren't shit, things aren't great. I'm somewhere, 7 out of 10. That tends to be the average level of where we're at. And why this is important is because there's a really popular or really easy trap to fall into, which is us telling ourselves that we just need that little bit more to get that 7 to a 10. I just need that promotion. I just need that partner. I just need a little bit of this. Then I would be the 10 out of 10. Then I would be happy. But I'm telling you now, bro, it's a facade. So many studies have done that. Even an event, and you probably have an example of this in your own life. I've definitely earned money and got a promotion that 2 years ago would have told myself I would be 10 out of 10. That's the kind of money I want to make. I'll be happy. I'll be good. And now it just feels normal. You're in the exact same place. You've achieved a goal that you said would make you happy, and you're just back to that 7 out of 10. People win the lottery ticket, and with enough time given, return to their normal 7 out of 10. And the same actually works in reverse as well, which is really interesting, that they studied even people who have been in tragic accidents, who, maybe lost their leg, unable to walk anymore, people who really thought, my life will never be the same. I'm forever going to be a 3 out of 10 happiness. This is just not the way I want to go on. But then again, you can probably fill the gap. So many people, given enough time, adapt to a life or adapt to their new circumstances and find themselves back at that 7 out of 10. It's the way that we're wired. Our brain returns us to that normal state. Why this is important is that what it basically means is that regardless of what you do, you're always just going to have a little bit of discomfort, a little bit of pain in your life. And what I've read in a couple of books recently is that there's so much power that comes from, since you're going to be a 7 out of 10 regardless, and you're going to experience pain regardless in your life, you might as well choose the pain that you go after. And I'll explain this in a bit more detail. There's always a flip side to the pain that you think that you're trying to avoid. For example, you might have a goal of starting a business and being a successful entrepreneur, and you're telling yourself that, oh my gosh, I'm going to have so much money, I get to do whatever I want, live life with the options that I want, and how can you not be great? But then what you don't realize, or what you forget about, is all the bullshit and all the pain that probably comes with running a business, having to deal with your own employees, the constant pressure of, if my business, should it ever go under, I'm literally done for. And who knows what else comes with running a successful business on a day-to-day basis. So that's often pain that people ignore. And also on the flip side, if you don't then have the business, you have the pain of the standard 9-to-5 grind, wishing you could live more on your own terms, wishing you'd have more money, wishing you could do a job that was truly your passion or really meant something to you. So on both sides, there's pain. Again, take it to health. People think, of course, obvious pain of not being healthy, not being in shape. I don't really need to explain what the pain of that is, just not being able to truly live to your full capacity, I guess, in everyday life. But then on the flip side, there's the pain of, if you are someone that consistently trains, constantly pushing yourself to new PBs, constantly pushing your comfort zone, constantly making yourself get out of bed in the mornings or go after work when you really don't feel like training, having to bounce back after when a competition didn't go the way that you want to. On both sides, there's pain. I'll give one more. Let's say relationships, I just need a partner, man. If I just had a girl around my arm, things would be good, man. That's all I need right now. Being single, shit. It's alone, whatever. But then in a relationship comes the pain of compromise, getting through arguments, putting someone else before yourself, etc. Plenty of stuff. So regardless what path you choose in life, there will be pain. And so there's power in choosing the pain that you would rather deal with and actually going after it. Like there's power in making it your pain. Like there's some shit that comes with this, but I've chosen it. And so therefore there's less of this victim feeling and more autonomy and agency in doing what you want to do. So in the book, it takes an extreme example to kind of and I'll get to the point, but it takes the extreme example that I think the ultimate form of pain, I guess, is the fact that it's basically death, is what the book says, it's kind of the one pain that we really truly can't avoid and is just looming towards us. But then a life with no death, it would be very hard to find what to give meaning to when. It's the fact that we don't have forever. That underlying pain is what actually helps us orientate what's valuable. The fact that we can lose it. The fact that you can lose a relationship, that pain is what makes you value it. The fact that you can lose your health and get out of shape is what makes you value it. And there is pains on both sides, Having a valuable relationship is valuable, yes, but then it comes with the pain of, compromise, arguments, putting someone else before you. Being in shape comes with the pain of being disciplined, pushing yourself in a session when you really don't want to, pushing your comfort zones, going for competitions, bouncing back from a loss, whatever it might be. It quite literally is unavoidable to experience pain in life. And so the power comes in knowing that pain is unavoidable. So in other words, it means that literally because of what you're willing to endure is what you're drawing meaning from. Yes, it might suck that I don't know if this business will ever work out or not, but I am willing to endure that pain for the outcome that it might bring me and the journey of it, Again, you can apply that to your life in any aspect, but there really is the switch is really the fact that you get to choose whatever shit you want to deal with. And especially as a guy, bro, like a good roadmap for, should we say, adult values is values that actually will come with some discomfort. Values like telling the truth no matter what. There will definitely be discomfort at some points in that. Values of courage, values of taking on responsibility. They're not supposed to be these fluffy, nice, comfortable compasses. They're supposed to come with challenge, and that's what makes them so rewarding. And to kind of round this off, bro, I think a good rule of thumb is basically that if you're not as fulfilled as you could be in your life, and you kind of feel like life is happening at you and you're kind of being dealt shit, then it's a very good indicator that you haven't chosen the challenges that you want to deal with. So avoiding pain actually isn't the goal. It's upgrading the problems that you deal with on a day-to-day basis. Instead of dealing with that maybe shitty 9-to-5 that you feel like it's kind of just happening at you, you'd probably much rather deal with the problems of learning a certain skill and watch yourself get better and better at it day by day. That's probably a much more fun problem to deal with rather than this 9-to-5 happening at you. So that's what you need to do, bro. You need to really get clear on what kind of problems would you like to deal with, get after that pain, chase it, and I promise you, watch the fulfillment grow on a day-to-day basis. I'm telling you that now, literally as I'm recording this video. Sometimes it comes with some bullshit, like it's long, thinking of the idea, like what's it going to be next week? When am I going to see a growth in followers or my brand, whatever? But I will choose this any day over sitting there feeling like life is just happening at me and I don't know what kind of problems or challenges I could pursue. Anyways, a little bit more of a ramble today. As always, bro, I hope it helps you. God bless.